Let me now explain the practical organization of the course. So there will be 13 lessons spread over 10 weeks in all, starting February 17 and ending April 28. So most of the time there'll be 1 or 2 lessons per week. There'll be 2 kinds of exercises: conceptual exercises, multiple choice or fill in the blank, and programming exercises using the Pythia platform to see whether your program is correct. There will be a midterm exam week 4 and a final exam week 10, and during those weeks there will be no other lessons. Also, you will have to install the Mozart system locally for working on the exercises. So let me explain a little bit the lesson plan. So the first lesson, now this first week, the introduction, we'll talk about the philosophy, the motivation of the course, also about the organization, that's what I'm doing now, about how to install the Mozart system, and we'll give our first start on the functional paradigm. And then in lessons following that, we'll continue talking about the functional paradigm up until the midterm. And after that, we'll talk about correctness, mathematical semantics. Then we'll continue, we'll talk about data abstraction, explicit state, how it's used in object-oriented programming, connections with Java, the concept of multiple inheritance and exceptions. Then we will continue with concurrent programming, deterministic data flow, first an introduction, and then more sophisticated programming techniques. Lesson 12 will be a guest lecture, a bonus, on multi-agent data flow programming. And the final, lesson 13, we will look back on the course, make some conclusions, and also look forward and see how to go farther from here. So lesson 12 is a bonus lesson given by guest lecturer, and it will be on multi-agent data flow programming. So this is a very nice form of concurrent programming. It will extend the deterministic data flow, which we saw in lesson 10 and 11 by then, with the ability to add non-determinism exactly where needed and nowhere else. So this is the best all-round paradigm for concurrent programming that we know, and we think it's important that everybody understands very well this paradigm. So this lesson will be given by Saif Haridi. Saif Haridi is professor at the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, and he is also chief scientist at the well-known Swedish Institute of Computer Science. Let me explain now the schedule of the course. So February 17, we will start with an introduction, the first lesson. So there'll be only 1 lesson that week. The second week there will be 2 lessons, 1 on recursion and invariant programming, and 1 on lists and pattern matching. Then on week 3 there will be a lesson on higher order and records, and another lesson on trees. Week 4 there will be a midterm, which will then mostly be on functional programming. Week 5 we'll talk about semantics. This will be the most mathematical of all the lessons, although not terribly mathematical, but a little bit more than the others. Then week 6 we will talk about abstraction, data abstraction, and explicit state, and how this is used in object-oriented programming. Week 7 we will continue this by talking about the Java programming language and exception handling, and also give an introduction to deterministic data flow. Week 8 we will give more sophisticated programming techniques for deterministic data flow programming. Week 9 we will give the bonus lesson, lesson 12, and the final lesson 13 we will take a look back at what we've seen in the course, try to make some conclusions, and also look forward and see how we can go on from there. And finally, week 10, there will be no lesson, just a final exam, and April 28 will be the due date for the final. So the software we're going to use, first of all, the EDX platform supports the course and has links to Pythia, has all the documentation, videos, and so on. Then there will be the Pythia platform. This is the interactive platform that will correct programming exercises and give you feedback on your errors. So this will be running on Amazon for scalability together with its own version of Mozart. And finally, there's the Mozart programming system, which implements the Oz language, and you'll have to install Mozart locally in order to do the exercises. Final point is the course textbook. This is Concepts, Techniques, and Models of Computer Programming by myself and Saif Haridi, published by MIT Press. And MIT Press has been very nice. They're going to make part of this book available for the course. So this is enough to start really working on the concepts. And finally, there will also be handouts to supplement the book.